Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Srinivasa Biology Tutorial. For this section to discuss the NCERT level, the 11th stands NCERT 11th standard, the cell unit of life, part 3. In that, eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cell including as what protist as plant, animals and some fungi groups as present. In that, the eukaryotic cell, already you know that eukaryotic cells mostly they having as the protista and the plants and animals and then fungi also they are present. Here fungi also present because these are what they completely has in what the presence of the nuclear membrane is present. The nuclear membrane is present. Now, in this eukaryotic cells, there is the extensive the compatibilization of the cytoplasm through the presence of the membrane bound organelles. So, in this total, the eukaryotic cell, they are covered with as the membrane bound organelle is present. So here they're covered with as one membrane bound organelle is present. Now this eukaryotic cell possesses organized as a nucleus, the nuclear envelopes. So inside they're having as what? The nucleus is present here. It has a completely the nucleus is present, and in this nucleus covered with as the nuclear membrane also present. Nuclear membrane also present. Now, in addition of eukaryotic cells has in the variety of complex locomotory and the cytoskeletal structures also they present. Now, in this the genetic material organized as in what? Chromosomes. They are organized as in the chromosomes is present. Now, here all eukaryotic cells are not identical. Correct? Because here the protista is one group, for plant, animalia as well as in a fungi. These are the different groups as present now here. Here, plants and animals are different from as in the former process, the cell walls. Yeah, exactly. Here, the mostly the plant cells has in a cell wall is present. The plant cell has in it the cell wall is present, but the animal cell does not have any the cell wall. Here, animal cell has not cell wall. Okay. So, and here the plastids and large vacuole which is absent in animal, and had the animals having a centrioles which are absent in that plant cells. Correct? Here the plant cell has in a what? In a vacuole is present, and as well as in a the plastids also present. Here the plastids also present, but in animals they having as what? Here centrioles. The plants has in what? In a centrioles as present. Now after here, see here the clearly the given has in a the entire the one plant cell. Enter the plant cell. Now it is in a animal cell. So here cell wall is present, here cell wall is absent. Okay. Now let us look at individual cell organelles understand by their structure and function. So now see that in a particular cell, and now read that as in a some functions. The first as in a what? Cell membrane. The first one is cell membrane. The cell membrane, it is the detailed structure of the membrane was studied after the advance of the electron microscope in 1950. In manual, the chemical study of the cell membrane, especially the human the red blood cells RBC, they are enabled the scientists there to decide the possible structure of the plasma membrane. So after 1950, after 1950 to when they discovered as that electron microscope, then to identify as the RBCs, the RBC cells that covered with as that entire the membrane, that is in a plasma membrane is noticed. Now, the studies show that as in the cell membrane is mainly composed of lipids and proteins. So, for example, you take as here any one particular the cell membrane. See, here I am taking as one particular cell membrane. It is in a two-layer structure. It is in a two-layer structure. Now, here the major lipids, the phospholipids are arranged by layer. The lipids are arranged within the membrane of within the polar head towards the outer side of the hydrophilic tails towards the inner part of this ensure that it is a non-polar situated hydrocarbons are protected to the in a aqueous environment. So in this addition of to the phospholipids, membrane is contained as in a cholesterols. See here. Here it is two layers as present. It is a one layer. It is a one layer. It is in a the protein layer and it is in a the lipid layer. So bilayer structure. It is in a bilayer structure. Okay, proteins and lipids. Now, when you see as in a, it is in a, the protein structures to get forms like it is in a head region. It is in a tail region. The head is called as in a head is hydrophilic nature, and the tail part in that tail part show has in this tail part show as in a hydrophobic nature. It is in a the tail part they show as what in a hydrophobic nature. Okay, these are completely the lipids are made up of what? The lipids made up of what? Cholesterols as present. Now, after in this improved as in a model, the structure of the membrane was proposed by as in a Singer and Nicholson. They are proposed as in a Singer and Nicholson. They are proposed as whom? In improved the model of the structure of the cell here and improved a model of structure of the cell membrane was proposed Singer and Nicholson. The scientist was whom? Singer and Nicholson, widely accepted as in a fluid mosaic model. According to this, in a quasi-fluid nature, lipid enable to layer the lateral movement of proteins within the over all the bilayers. So, to the two layers as present in these two layers to get molecules to get moved from as in a in the two layers. The ability to move as within the membrane, the measured as in the fluidity. So, the fluidity is going as in a here to here and here to here like. Okay. Now, in this fluid nature of the membrane is also is important from the as in a point of view the functions like as growth, formation of intracellular junctions and secretion and endosynthesis and cell division. So this purpose is very important. Here the fluid nature importance for which purpose ma? Here cell growth, formation of intracellular junctions and secretion and endosynthesis and cell division purpose it is a very important. Okay. Next, after in this one of these most important function of the plasma membrane, it is in a transport of the molecule across the it. So molecules move from as in that high concentration to as in a their lower concentration. It is a membrane na? It is that in a part of the membrane. Yes, it is a part of the in a membrane. So the molecules to get moved from as in this through the membrane. Now the membrane is selectively permeable. Some molecules are present either their side of it. So molecules are moved from as in a their one side of it. Many molecules can move briefly across the membrane without requirement of any energy. This is called as in a passive transport. So here without any energy, here without any energy the molecules to get moved, that is called as what? Passive transport. Naturally the solutes may be there move across the membrane. The process of the simple diffusion along the concentration, the gradient. So molecule based how to get moving? They're based on the in a concentration gradient. Their concentration, the gradient based on the molecules to get move. Here from higher concentration to low concentration, the water may also move across the membrane for the high concentration to as in a low concentration. So molecules as well as in a water to get moved from as in a high concentration to as in a low concentration. Now after the movement of the when a water diffusion is called as an osmosis. So here molecules to get moving here, the totally the molecules are moving from high concentration to low concentration through as in the membrane is called as what? That is an osmosis process. So here to here the molecule to get moved through as a semi-permeable or selectively permeable membrane, that is called as what? Incompletely osmosis. And then next, in this polar molecule cannot pass through as a non-polar lipid bilayer, this require as carrier proteins, the membrane facilitate transport across the membrane. So in this process is called as what? See, in these protein carriers, see here they mention as any protein carriers, means here what type of diffusion which takes place here? Facilitated. Here facilitated diffusion based on here their molecules are get moved. Okay, next, if you ions or molecules transported across the membrane against their concentration gradient from the low concentration to the high concentration, such transport of energy depends on the process with their utilizing ATPs, and this called as an activated transport. So here mostly that molecules to move from as that high concentration to low concentration, they require there's some energy. Here using as some energy after the molecules to get moved. This energy, this kind of transport is called as what? Active transport. This transport is called as what? Active transport. Example is what? Any PES as well as K plus pump. Okay, now sodium and potassium pump. Sodium and potassium pump, it is the best example for the as in a protective transport. Okay, that is.